Imagine waking up next to the person you love, not just feeling comfortable, but deeply connected, passionately alive, and fully seen. Too many relationships start strong, but slowly fade into routine, frustration, or even resentment. Why? Because love isn't just about finding the right person, it's about building the right habits. Today I'm going to share 3 fundamental things that will help you create a relationship that lasts. One that's not just surviving, but thriving. Let's dive in. Emotional safety is the foundation of any lasting relationship. Without it, love cannot thrive, and connection remains surface level at best. Emotional safety means creating an environment where both partners feel completely secure to express their thoughts, feelings, and vulnerabilities without fear of judgment, criticism, or rejection. It is the deep knowing that no matter what happens, your partner is there to support you, understand you, and hold space for you when you need it most. At the core of emotional safety is trust. Trust isn't just about fidelity or honesty, it's about consistency, dependability, and the reassurance that your partner has your back. When emotional safety is present, you feel free to be your authentic self, to speak your truth, and to share your fears, dreams, and insecurities without the constant worry of being shut down or dismissed. It creates a bond where both people feel heard, valued, and respected, which leads to a deeper level of intimacy. When emotional safety is missing, conversations become guarded. Instead of open dialogue, there's hesitation. Partners filter their words, avoid difficult topics, or bottle up emotions out of fear that they will trigger an argument or be misunderstood. This leads to resentment, disconnection, and a relationship that feels more like walking on eggshells than a true partnership. Over time, the lack of emotional safety makes people withdraw, and that distance is what causes relationships to fall apart. Emotional safety also allows for healthy conflict resolution. Every couple will face disagreements, but in a safe relationship, conflicts are not about winning or losing, they are about understanding each other. Instead of attacking, blaming, or shutting down, both partners can communicate openly, knowing that even in the heat of the moment, their feelings are valid and their perspective matters. When emotional safety exists, disagreements become opportunities to grow closer, to learn more about each other, and to strengthen the bond rather than weaken it. Another key aspect of emotional safety is the ability to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is often mistaken for weakness, but in reality, it is the greatest strength in any deep relationship. It's the courage to say, I'm struggling, I need help, or I feel hurt, without fear that your words will be used against you. When you feel emotionally safe, you don't have to pretend to be strong all the time. You don't have to hide your emotions or put on a mask. You can be real, raw, and open, knowing that your partner will not see you as weak, but will instead offer love, support, and reassurance. Creating emotional safety is a two-way street. It's not just about expecting your partner to provide it, it's about being the person who fosters it as well. It requires listening without immediately reacting, being mindful of your words and tone, and responding with empathy instead of defensiveness. It means validating your partner's emotions even when you don't fully understand them, because what matters is not whether you agree, but whether they feel heard. It means showing up consistently, proving through actions, not just words, that you are reliable, trustworthy, and committed to making your relationship a safe space for both of you. Emotional safety is also built through nonverbal communication, body language, tone of voice, facial expressions, and even the way you respond in everyday interactions. A dismissive glance, a sarcastic remark, or an eye roll may seem minor, but over time, these small actions erode the sense of security in a relationship. On the other hand, a warm touch, a reassuring look, or simply being fully present in a conversation can reinforce the feeling of safety and connection. In order to cultivate emotional safety, both partners must be willing to put in the effort. It requires patience, self-awareness, and a commitment to choosing love over ego. It means prioritizing understanding over being right and connection over control. It is about recognizing that your partner is not your enemy and that their emotions, no matter how different from yours, are valid and deserve to be acknowledged. It is about creating an unshakable bond where both of you can be fully yourselves, without fear, without walls, and without hesitation. Passion is not something that just magically appears in a relationship and stays there effortlessly. It is not a lucky accident that some couples have while others don't. Passion is a choice, a deliberate and ongoing effort that both partners must commit to if they want their relationship to remain exciting, intimate, and deeply connected. The mistake that many people make is believing that passion is purely a product of chemistry, fate, or the early excitement of a new romance. They assume that once the initial spark fades, there's nothing they can do to bring it back. But the truth is, passion doesn't disappear on its own. It fades when we stop feeding it, when we stop prioritizing it, and when we allow routine, stress, and complacency to take over. At the beginning of a relationship, passion feels effortless. There is a sense of mystery, discovery, and novelty that keeps everything exciting. You pay attention to every little detail about your partner. You look forward to seeing them, and you naturally put effort into making them feel special. But over time, as familiarity sets in, the effort often diminishes. You get comfortable. You start assuming that love alone is enough to keep the fire alive. You stop prioritizing moments of connection, and before you know it, your relationship starts feeling more like a routine than an adventure. Passion requires intentionality. It is about choosing every single day to see your partner in a new light, to nurture attraction, and to keep the energy between you alive. One of the most common killers of passion is predictability. When everything becomes predictable, when every interaction follows the same script, the excitement naturally fades. This is why it's so important to keep discovering new aspects of each other, to introduce variety into your experiences, and to never stop being curious about your partner. Another key factor in maintaining passion is the dynamic of polarity, the balance between masculine and feminine energy. Attraction thrives on differences, on the push and pull of complementary energies. When couples lose this balance, when they become too similar in their roles, when they both take on the same energy, or when they stop stepping fully into their own essence, passion begins to fade. It's not about playing stereotypical gender roles. It's about recognizing that attraction is fueled by contrast. When one partner brings strong direction, confidence, and stability, and the other brings playfulness, flow, and emotional depth, the relationship stays electrified. But when these energies become neutralized, the relationship can start to feel more like a friendship than a passionate romance. Physical intimacy is another crucial part of passion, but it is often misunderstood. True passion is not just about physical attraction. It is about emotional and psychological connection as well. Many couples think that intimacy should just happen naturally, but in reality, it requires effort. It requires creating moments of closeness, of touch, of playful flirtation, of deep emotional sharing. It's about making time for connection, not just when it's convenient, but as a priority in your life. It's about being present, looking into each other's eyes, and remembering what drew you together in the first place. Passion is also deeply connected to the way we treat each other outside of the bedroom. How you communicate, how you express appreciation, and how you handle stress all impact the level of attraction in your relationship. If every interaction is filled with tension, criticism, or indifference, passion naturally declines. But if you consistently show up with warmth, excitement, and a desire to uplift each other, the fire stays alive. It's about making your partner feel desire, not just through words, but through actions, through the way you look at them, the way you touch them, the way you speak to them, and the way you prioritize quality time together. Another passion killer is the mindset of entitlement, the belief that once you're in a relationship, you no longer have to try. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. They assume that because they already have their partner, they don't need to put in the same level of effort they did in the beginning. But passion is fueled by effort, by the willingness to keep impressing each other, to keep surprising each other, and to keep creating unforgettable experiences together. It's about bringing excitement, spontaneity, and energy into the relationship instead of waiting for it to magically appear. One of the most powerful ways to sustain passion is to keep growing individually. Personal growth is attractive. When you continue to evolve, to pursue your goals, to challenge yourself, and to bring new energy into the relationship, your partner will naturally feel more drawn to you. Stagnation is the enemy of passion. If you stop growing, if you stop bringing new experiences and ideas into your dynamic, the relationship starts to feel stagnant as well. But when both partners are committed to growing, mentally, emotionally, and even physically, their connection stays fresh and exciting. Playfulness is another essential element of passion. The couples who keep their passion alive are the ones who laugh together, who tease each other, who don't take everything so seriously. They make time for adventure, for lightheartedness, for moments of pure joy. Passion isn't just about deep, intense emotions. It's also about fun, about feeling alive in each other's presence. It's about keeping that youthful excitement even when life gets busy and responsibilities pile up. Ultimately, passion is a daily choice. It's the decision to prioritize your relationship, to keep showing up with enthusiasm, and to never stop appreciating the person you're with. It's about recognizing that love alone is not enough. Passion must be cultivated, nurtured, and reignited over and over again. A truly fulfilling relationship is not built on keeping score, measuring how much each person is giving, or waiting for your partner to match your efforts before you put in more. It is built on the mindset of contribution, giving without expecting something in return, loving without conditions, and choosing to be the best possible partner regardless of what you're receiving in the moment. This doesn't mean allowing yourself to be taken for granted or staying in a one-sided relationship. It means shifting your focus from what am I getting to how can I give more? Because the more you give from a place of abundance, the more love, connection, and fulfillment you naturally create in your relationship. The mistake many people make is falling into a transactional mindset where love and effort become part of an unspoken trade. I did something nice for you, now you owe me. I made the first move last time, so now it's your turn. This kind of thinking creates resentment because instead of focusing on love and connection, the relationship becomes about making sure things feel fair. But relationships are not business deals. The happiest and most successful couples are the ones who give, not because they have to, but because they genuinely want to. When you operate from a place of contribution rather than expectation, everything changes. Instead of waiting for your partner to make you happy, you focus on making them happy. Instead of getting frustrated that they aren't doing enough, you take responsibility for what you can bring to the relationship. And something amazing happens when you do this. Your energy shifts. Love is contagious. Generosity is contagious. When you give selflessly, your partner feels it, and in most cases, they naturally start to mirror that energy back to you. But the key is that you're not giving just to get something in return. You're giving because it's who you choose to be. One of the most powerful ways to apply this principle is through appreciation. Too often, people stop appreciating their partners over time. In the beginning, every little thing is noticed and celebrated. Compliments, acts of kindness, sweet gestures. But as time goes on, those things get taken for granted. When you expect love rather than appreciating it, passion and connection start to fade. But when you give more appreciation than you expect to receive, when you take the time to notice the little things your partner does and express gratitude for them, the entire dynamic shifts. Suddenly, both of you feel valued, seen, and inspired to keep putting effort into the relationship. Another way to give more than you expect is through emotional support. It's easy to be present for your partner when things are going well, but the real test of a relationship is how you show up when they are struggling. Do you offer a listening ear without immediately trying to fix things? Do you validate their feelings instead of dismissing them? Do you stand by them in their lowest moments, not just because you expect them to do the same for you, but because you genuinely want to be their safe space? When you choose to give your partner unwavering support without immediately needing something in return, you build a foundation of trust and security that is unshakable. Effort is another area where giving more than you expect can transform a relationship. Many people start off putting in tremendous effort, planning dates, sending thoughtful messages, making their partner feel special, but over time, as routine sets in, They begin to coast. They start expecting their partner to just know they love them without actively showing it. And then when the relationship starts to feel stale, they blame their partner for not doing enough instead of asking themselves, how can I bring more energy and effort into this relationship? The truth is, love thrives on consistent effort. It's not about grand gestures. It's about the small daily choices, choosing to be affectionate, to initiate connection, to make your partner feel desired and valued. Another important aspect of this mindset is giving, understanding, and patience. No one is perfect. Your partner will make mistakes. They will have bad days. They will go through moments where they are not able to give as much as they usually do. And in those moments, instead of focusing on what you're not getting, focus on what you can give. Can you be patient instead of reactive? Can you show compassion instead of frustration? Can you hold space for them when they need it most? Relationships are not 50/50. They are 100/100. Some days, one person might be able to give 80% while the other can only give 20%. On other days, those roles might reverse. The key is being willing to give more to carry the weight when your partner needs it, and to trust that when you need the same in return, they will do the same for you. Another powerful way to apply this mindset is in conflict resolution. When disagreements happen, most people focus on what they're not getting. You're not listening to me. You don't understand my side. You're not giving me what I need. But what if, instead of focusing on what you're lacking, you focused on what you could give? What if, instead of trying to prove your point, you tried to understand theirs? What if, instead of waiting for them to apologize first, you were the one to extend peace? Giving more in conflict doesn't mean suppressing your needs or ignoring your feelings. It means approaching the situation with the intention of creating connection rather than winning a battle. Physical affection is another area where giving more than you expect can make a massive difference. Over time, many couples fall into patterns where they only give affection when they feel like it or when they are receiving it in return. But what if you made the conscious choice to initiate more, to give more hugs, more kisses, more loving touches, without waiting for your partner to do it first? Physical connection is one of the most powerful ways to maintain closeness in a relationship, and when one person starts giving more, it often creates a ripple effect that strengthens the bond between both partners. One of the biggest misconceptions about giving in a relationship is the fear that it will be one-sided. Many people hesitate to give fully because they are afraid of being taken advantage of or not receiving the same effort in return. But true love is not about keeping score. It's about making the conscious decision to be a giver, because that is who you want to be. It's about creating a culture of generosity, appreciation, and effort in your relationship, knowing that when both partners adopt this mindset, the connection deepens in ways that no amount of keeping score ever could. Communication is not just about talking. It is about connecting. It is not simply exchanging words. It is about understanding, being understood, and creating a space where both partners feel heard, valued, and emotionally close. The quality of your communication determines the quality of your relationship. When communication is strong, trust grows. Intimacy deepens, and conflicts become opportunities for growth instead of sources of division. But when communication breaks down, even the strongest love begins to weaken. One of the biggest misconceptions about communication in relationships is the belief that simply talking more will solve problems. But communication isn't just about the amount of words spoken. It's about the depth of those words, the intention behind them, and the way they are received. Two people can talk all day and still feel distant if their words lack sincerity, presence, or emotional openness. True communication is about listening as much as speaking, about being fully present, and about creating a space where both people feel safe to share their thoughts and feelings without fear of being judged, dismissed, or ignored. Listening is the foundation of real communication. Most people listen with the intent to respond rather than with the intent to understand. They are waiting for their turn to speak, formulating their next point in their mind instead of truly absorbing what their partner is saying. This leads to misinterpretation, frustration, and a feeling of disconnection. But when you listen deeply, when you give your full attention, put aside distractions, and truly focus on your partner, you create a level of emotional intimacy that words alone cannot achieve. People don't just want to be heard. They want to feel understood. They want to know that what they are saying matters, that their feelings are valid, and that their thoughts are respected. Another crucial part of communication is emotional honesty. Many people struggle with expressing their true thoughts and feelings in a relationship, either because they fear conflict, don't want to appear vulnerable, or assume their partner should already just know what they need. But unspoken emotions do not disappear. They build up. And when they go unexpressed for too long, they turn into resentment, frustration, or emotional distance. Real connection happens when both partners are willing to be open, even when it's uncomfortable. It means saying, I feel hurt, instead of acting distant. It means saying, I need more support, instead of expecting your partner to read your mind. It means choosing to be real, even when vulnerability feels risky. The tone of communication is just as important as the words being spoken. You can say the right thing, but if your tone is dismissive, sarcastic, or aggressive, the message gets lost. When a partner senses criticism or defensiveness, they stop listening and start protecting themselves. This is why communication must come from a place of love and respect, even in moments of frustration. Instead of attacking, blaming, or shutting down, approach conversations with curiosity. Instead of saying, you never listened to me, say, I feel unheard and I really need us to work on this. Instead of saying, you're always so insensitive, say, when you said that, it made me feel unimportant. Shifting the way you communicate can completely change the way your partner responds to you. Nonverbal communication is just as powerful as spoken words. The way you look at your partner, your body language, the way you respond when they speak, these unspoken signals shape the emotional climate of your relationship. A loving touch, eye contact, an engaged posture. These subtle cues communicate care, attention, and connection. On the other hand, crossed arms, an eye roll, a distracted glance at your phone while your partner is speaking, these can create distance and make the other person feel unimportant. Being intentional about your nonverbal communication can strengthen your bond in ways that words alone cannot. Conflict is an inevitable part of any relationship, but the way you communicate during conflict determines whether it brings you closer or pushes you apart. Many couples fall into destructive communication patterns, yelling, withdrawing, shutting down, or using hurtful words in the heat of the moment. But healthy communication means learning to fight for the relationship, not against each other. It means recognizing that your partner is not your opponent, but your teammate. It means focusing on resolution rather than proving a point, and seeking to understand rather than just to be right. Timing also plays a huge role in communication. Not every conversation needs to happen in the heat of the moment. Some discussions are best had when both partners are calm and receptive. If emotions are too high, taking a break before discussing an issue can prevent unnecessary escalation. The key is to communicate with intention, to choose moments where both people are in a space to listen, and to approach difficult conversations with a mindset of growth rather than attack. Communication is not just about problem solving. It is also about maintaining connection in the good times. Many couples only focus on communication when there is an issue, but the strongest relationships prioritize daily connection. Sharing thoughts, dreams, and little moments of appreciation keeps the emotional bond strong. It's about checking in, asking meaningful questions, and making the effort to stay emotionally engaged even when life gets busy. Creating a habit of open, honest, and intentional communication takes effort, but it is one of the most powerful ways to keep a relationship strong, connected, and deeply fulfilling. Growth is not optional in a relationship. It is essential. The moment a relationship stops growing, it starts dying. Too many couples believe that once they've found love, the hard work is done, that once they've built a strong connection, it will sustain itself. But nothing in life stays the same. Everything is either evolving or decaying, and relationships are no different. If you are not actively growing together, you are passively drifting apart. Personal growth and relationship growth go hand in hand. Many people enter a relationship expecting their partner to make them happy, to fulfill them, to complete them. But true fulfillment in a relationship doesn't come from another person. It comes from within. When two people are committed to becoming the best versions of themselves, they bring more energy, passion, and depth into the relationship. But when one or both partners stop growing, the relationship starts feeling stagnant, predictable, and uninspiring. The most vibrant, exciting, and fulfilling relationships are the ones where both people are constantly pushing themselves to be better, not because they have to, but because they want to. Growth in a relationship doesn't just mean growing together as a couple. It also means growing individually. Many people lose themselves in their relationships. They stop pursuing their own passions, their own goals, and their own personal development. They start defining themselves solely by the relationship, and in doing so, they stop evolving as individuals. But when you stop growing as a person, you stop bringing new energy into the relationship. You stop having new ideas to share, new insights to explore, new experiences to bring back to each other. This is why personal growth is not selfish, it is necessary. The more you grow as an individual, the more you have to give to your relationship. One of the biggest threats to growth in a relationship is comfort. In the beginning, everything is new, exciting, and full of discovery. You are learning about each other, pushing boundaries, and stepping outside of your comfort zone. But as time goes on, many couples fall into routines. They stop exploring, they stop challenging each other, and they settle into a predictable rhythm. And while stability is important, too much comfort can lead to complacency. A relationship should feel safe, but it should also inspire you to stretch beyond who you were yesterday. If you are not growing together, you are growing apart. One of the most powerful ways to ensure continuous growth in a relationship is to set goals together. Just like individuals need goals to stay motivated and driven, couples need shared visions to stay connected and inspired. These can be personal development goals, health and fitness goals, financial goals, travel goals, or even relationship goals, anything that gives you a sense of direction and purpose as a couple. When you are working towards something together, you create momentum, you create excitement, you create a bond that goes beyond day-to-day life and taps into something deeper, a shared mission, a shared purpose. Growth in a relationship also requires embracing discomfort. Too many people avoid difficult conversations because they don't want to create conflict, but growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. Real communication, real emotional depth, and real transformation come from the willingness to be honest even when it's hard. It comes from being open to feedback, from being willing to look at your own flaws, and from choosing growth over ego. The strongest relationships are not the ones without problems. They're the ones where both partners are committed to facing challenges head on and using them as opportunities to grow. Another key to growth in a relationship is learning together. When you and your partner commit to learning, whether it's through reading, attending seminars, exploring new skills, or simply having deep, meaningful conversations, you create a culture of expansion. You keep each other intellectually and emotionally stimulated. You keep bringing fresh perspectives, new insights, and exciting discoveries into the relationship. The couples who grow together don't just rely on past experiences to sustain their bond. They are always evolving, always deepening their understanding of each other and the world. Emotional growth is just as important as intellectual or personal development. Many people carry old wounds, limiting beliefs, and unresolved fears into their relationships. And if those issues are not addressed, they create emotional barriers that prevent deeper connection. True growth means being willing to do the inner work, to recognize past patterns, to heal old wounds, and to continuously develop emotional intelligence. It means learning how to communicate more effectively, how to manage stress and emotions in a healthier way, and how to show up for your partner with more love, patience, and understanding. A relationship should be a place of mutual inspiration. It should be a space where both people push each other to be their best, where growth is celebrated, and where evolution is embraced. It's about choosing to never settle, not just in love, but in life. Because the more you grow, the more you have to give. And the more you both evolve, the more your relationship transforms into something extraordinary. Love is not just something you feel, it's something you do. It's not just a spark, an emotion, or a rush of passion that happens on its own. It's a choice, a commitment, a set of actions that you take every single day. Too many people think that love is something that just magically appears and disappears, that it's either there or it's not, that it's something outside of their control. But real love isn't about what happens in the beginning when everything is exciting and effortless. It's about what happens over time, through the ups and downs, through the challenges, and through the moments when loving someone isn't easy. Feelings come and go, passion rises and falls, attraction can fluctuate, but the relationships that last, the ones that remain strong, deep, and fulfilling are built by people who understand that love is not just a feeling to be experienced, but a practice to be maintained. They don't rely on emotions alone to keep the connection alive. They take action, they put in effort, and they consistently show up for their partner even when life gets busy, even when things get hard, even when the excitement of the early days has settled into something different. The mistake many people make is believing that love should always feel effortless, that if they have to work at it, something must be wrong. But anything worth having in life, success, health, fulfillment, requires effort. Why would love be any different? The reality is, no matter how much two people love each other, no relationship will sustain itself without intentional action. You don't stay in love by accident. You stay in love because you choose to nurture it, because you refuse to take it for granted, because you understand that the most meaningful relationships are built, not just felt. One of the most powerful ways to practice love as an action is through appreciation. In the beginning of a relationship, it's easy to notice everything wonderful about your partner. Every little thing they do feels special. You admire them, compliment them, and express gratitude effortlessly. But over time, many people stop doing this. They assume their partner already knows they love them. They get comfortable. They stop saying thank you for the little things. They stop noticing the qualities that once made them fall in love. And when appreciation fades, resentment and disconnection take its place. But love is an action, and that means making the conscious effort to express appreciation every single day, to notice the things your partner does, to acknowledge their efforts, to remind them that they are valued, not just in big moments, but in the small, ordinary ones too. Love as an action also means being present. In today's world, it's easy to be physically with someone, but mentally somewhere else. Couples sit together, but are lost in their phones. They have conversations, but don't truly listen. They share a life, but aren't fully engaged with each other. But love is about presence. It's about putting down distractions, making eye contact, truly hearing your partner when they speak. It's about creating moments of undivided attention where nothing else matters except the connection you're sharing. When you choose to be present, you show your partner that they matter, that they are a priority, that they are worth your full attention. Another way love is demonstrated through action is through consistency. Love isn't about grand gestures once in a while. It's about the small, meaningful things done consistently over time. It's about checking in, showing up, following through on promises. It's about making your partner feel secure, knowing that they can count on you, not just when it's convenient, not just when it's exciting, but always. The most successful relationships are built on a foundation of reliability. Love isn't just about saying, I'm here for you. It's about proving it day after day in both the big moments and the seemingly insignificant ones. Love in action also means choosing kindness even when you're frustrated. In a relationship, there will be disagreements, misunderstandings, and moments of tension. But what separates strong couples from those who fall apart is how they handle these moments. Love is not about always being right. It's about understanding. It's about choosing to respond with patience instead of reacting with anger. It's about speaking with kindness instead of criticism. It's about treating your partner with respect, even in moments of frustration. When you make kindness a priority, you create a relationship where both people feel safe, valued, and understood. Sacrifice is another essential part of love in action. Real love means putting your partner's needs before your own at times. It means being willing to compromise, to support their dreams, to make adjustments so that the relationship can thrive. It doesn't mean losing yourself or constantly giving at the expense of your own well-being, but it does mean being selfless in moments that matter. Love isn't about asking, what's in it for me? It's about asking, how can I make this better for us? The strongest relationships are built by people who understand that love is about giving, not because they have to, but because they want to. Love as an action also means choosing your partner every day. In long-term relationships, many people fall into autopilot. They assume love will sustain itself. They stop putting in the same energy they did in the beginning. They let routine take over and they forget to nurture the spark. But love is a choice. Every day you have the opportunity to choose passion, to choose connection, to choose to invest in your partner. It's about making the effort to flirt, to initiate affection, to keep the romance alive. Passion doesn't fade because time passes. It fades because people stop choosing it. The happiest couples are the ones who actively work to keep their love alive, who refuse to let routine make them complacent, who understand that the more you give to your relationship, the more it gives back to you. Love in action is also about emotional support. It's about showing up for your partner when they need you the most. When they are struggling, when they are feeling lost, when they are facing challenges. It's about being their rock. It's about holding space for them without judgment, about offering encouragement without needing anything in return. Love is not just about being there in the good times. It's about standing by each other through the storms. It's about making sure your partner never feels alone, no matter what life throws your way. Love is something you do, something you build, something you cultivate through action every single day. It's not just a passing emotion. It's a commitment to growth, to effort, to showing up fully. Feelings may come and go, but love that is actively nurtured stands the test of time. Love that lasts isn't built on luck, chemistry, or fleeting emotions. It's built on intentional action, deep commitment, and continuous growth. The strongest relationships don't just happen, they are created, nurtured, and strengthened every single day. Emotional safety is everything. It's the foundation that allows love to deepen, trust to flourish, and vulnerability to feel safe. Passion isn't an accident. It's a choice that must be made daily, fueled by effort, spontaneity, and emotional connection. True love is about giving more than you expect, showing up with a spirit of generosity, and finding fulfillment and contributing to your partner's happiness without keeping score. Communication isn't just about words, it's about connection, about listening with the intent to understand, about speaking with love, and about using every conversation as an opportunity to grow closer. Growth is non-negotiable because if you're not evolving together, you're slowly drifting apart. A thriving relationship requires both partners to continuously expand, learn, and challenge each other to be better. And above all, love is an action, not just a feeling. It's not something you find and hope lasts. It's something you choose, invest in, and demonstrate through your daily actions. The relationships that stand the test of time are not the ones without struggles, but the ones where both people refuse to give up. They commit to doing the work, to prioritizing each other, to growing individually and as a couple. They don't just love when it's easy, they love when it's difficult. They don't just stay when it's exciting, they stay because they know that real love is worth fighting for. At the end of the day, love isn't just about finding the right person, it's about being the right person. It's about choosing to show up as your best self, to give fully, to communicate openly, to grow relentlessly, and to love with intention. Because when two people commit to these principles, not just in the beginning, but every single day, that's when love becomes unbreakable.